I created a half sleeve with the help of tattoo transfer paper. This was the first time trying this, and it looked simple to use, but it did give me a little bit of trouble. So first I had to pull out this transfer sheet. It's a design that the young man had brought me, and I just knew I wasn't going to be able to replicate this design. It was just a lot going on. So this was the best option. I first started off with drawing the design. And this process was very helpful because just imagine me having to draw this design on his arm. It would have took me probably just longer than the appointment time. However, I'm thinking I'm doing my thing, and then I lift up the carbon copy paper, and look, nothing transferred over. So I literally had to do this process all over again. No worries, I just had to keep it moving, so I drew it all over again. And so what I learned is maybe the first time I drew down just a little too soft or transfer paper, you have to press down just a little bit so it can transfer to the last sheet. And poor him, he just sat there so patient. He understood, this is a learning process for me. So next I went in with the Dettol. I had to use that as a primer on his arm. There was transfer paper, wipes, or whatever it was. I wasn't buying all of that. So I just went to the grocery store, and that helped to transfer over the design. So as you see me laying down, all of that work I just did for the last 30 plus minutes in hopes that the ink did transfer over so I can finally get to work.
Next up is Essential Values. And 8 ounces of this for $14.99.
That is so cool! I'm so excited. Wow. As you can see, the transfer paper was a success. I did waste a few sheets of paper from the kit, but that's okay. Every day I'm learning something new, and I'm always willing to get better. This process, as I'm applying the paste, it was so easy. I know I would have been sitting here for hours trying to figure out what to do, where to start, and how to apply the shading properly. I didn't know what I was looking at. I was just like, well, if you love it, I like it too. It wasn't until the end I was like, oh, I see. It's actually a portrait. So it was an angel, a sun, an eye, some words. It was a real image. And so it took me a minute to kind of figure out what I was doing. But I did enjoy trying something new. I tried this transfer paper with another client not too long after, and it did not work. And I just never went back to the thing. I just been drawing by freehand ever since, but maybe one day I'll go back. I do appreciate his patience, and he was working with me. We was trying to get this together, but if you want the transfer paper, like I said, it's on Amazon. You don't have to buy the printer. You could just, buy the sheets and just draw it. It's about, I think it was like $7. So after all of that work, this is the result. It maybe could have been a little wider, but I was already struggling enough. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think.